Hello, I am Michelle.
And I am Natalie the Red.
And we are Force of Light Entertainment. Well, we are here to talk about episode 6 of Wanda Vision. And I was thinking about it. We've been calling these reviews. They're really more like our reaction to watching the video, like our opinions of it after. And
it's an opinion piece.
Well, and I wanted to call it more a reaction because we've both only watched these one time when we discuss them. And say probably by after I have a little more time to think about it. Usually I put things together after we've already recorded this.
I guess you could say this is kind of like our gut reaction of the episode.
Well, that's why I said it's a reaction. This is truly our reaction of more than a review of WandaVision. And you guys have been with us as we have gone from despising the show, but yet being optimistic, to liking it a little bit more, to really liking it.
To this week, I'm like, dang, I can't wait till next
Friday.
Friday.
When the credits roll, you're like, no!
Really?
I want to know what happens. This episode to me was the best episode.
And after episode 3, they just
keep getting better
and better to the point. To me, I thought the same thing. I thought last week was my favorite episode so far. Well, this week even topped it for me. So
yeah, good job.
Can't wait for the next one.
And so they kind of do it, which I actually I didn't really even know what they were going for because I never really watched Malcolm in the Middle, but I'm told it's Malcolm in the Middle. And once that was said, it was like, okay, I see that. Because I have seen a little bit of Malcolm in the Middle.
I thought they must be going for some kind of style with this 90s thing, and now that makes sense.
Yeah,
but I didn't ever really see much of it either.
Like the way the opening was shot.
Yeah, kind of chaotic. And
yes, and kind of from the kid's perspective.
Right.
So, yeah, it's kind of this Malcolm in the Middle, but it's Halloween in this episode, and Elizabeth Olsen looks stunning in this episode in her little costume.
We never fail
to give props where props are due. She had nice hair.
Yes,
but yeah,
the 90s are doing her right.
They are, yeah. So
it sounded weird, but
it did sound weird. But we'll keep moving on.
Meant it as a compliment.
But anyway, so what's so interesting to me about this episode is everyone's kind of figuring things out in a way, beginning to figure things out. Vision doesn't trust Wanda.
Not at all.
To the degree he basically, he lies to her at the beginning so he can go try to figure out what's going on in this town.
He's like, I smell crime, literally.
Yeah.
I'm going to go figure it out.
So he very smoothly kind of lies, not that you need to lie smoothly. It's always better to be honest, But anyways, he's trying to figure out what's going on. So he goes, kind of towards the edge of town where he's not been before to see what is going on here.
That's kind of creepy.
It is creepy. And we'll get back to that in a minute.
And I like those elements of the show.
I do too. Yeah. That's what they really, I enjoy that they're leaning into that more because it makes it interesting. It makes it stand out from anything Marvel's done. So I really appreciate and enjoy that. So then you also have Wanda, who's trying to figure out why her brother is like the X-Men version of Quicksilver.
Yeah, she's really a little unsure about this dude.
She is. She's very unsure. So she's testing him throughout the episode. Basically, do you remember this?
Yeah.
And keeps kind of asking him.
I think he even says at one point, you're testing me.
Yes. And it's he does seem to have the consciousness of the other Quicksilver because he seems to remember the things that, at least to a degree, because she does say about that one thing, I don't remember it that way. So there is one thing.
And then he says maybe you're just trying to forget your trauma or something like that, as people often do, but, kind of change it in their head from what was reality.
And what's interesting is he knows what she's doing. Where Vision doesn't, I think, fully understand what she's doing, he seems to know that.
So the brother's an interesting character in the mix here now.
There's a big question mark with him. And of course, by the end of it, she just shoom, and sends him.
Yeah, that was dang, Wanda.
Yeah, Wanda wasn't playing with Quicksilver.
I mean, granted, it was kind of an insensitive comment.
It was.
But still.
Yeah, it was pretty insensitive. So then also, too, moving to the reality, you have Monica Rambeau. And at this point, they've clearly set up how Wanda... Well, for starters, the head of S.W.O.R.D. is clearly kind of... Is he trying to cover something up? because it's almost like his hatred of wanting to move quick and take out Wanda.
Something is smelling very fishy with that guy.
It's like he's trying to cover up something he's done. Like, that's how this is playing out.
He's getting set up as an antagonist.
Yeah, well, he's definitely the antagonist to a degree. And I know some people wonder if he's this, I forget his name, but this comic book villain. People are kind of wondering, is he him in kind of disguise, incognito? Possibly. I'm not sure. But regardless, I feel like he clearly is trying to, one, people are saying that they think he was in the wrong in what he was doing to Vision's body that we saw last time. But it's like he made a mistake and he's trying to clean it up. So kind of like, let me take care of this so no one can question me on what I did. That's kind of what I'm picking up through his actions. And that's why when there's three characters that are presenting ideas of actually helping the situation, he's like, no, like, it's my way or the highway. And guys, sometimes it's good to have different views and opinions. It can help things out. But he's like, nah, you've got to go. So he puts them under arrest.
He's really kind of crappy to them.
Oh, definitely. And again, he's made up his mind that Wanda's got to go. And I believe there's a purpose.
He's like, there's no nuance. Like, he's not looking at this from any, like, he's just very dogmatic, sort of.
And I really hope it's not just like kind of a one-dimensional character and that, like what you just said. I hope it's more he's covering something up.
Yeah.
That would be a better, I think, character arc. Arc for his character. But anyway, so he puts he puts Monica and Darcy, and why do I always forget the other guy's name?
I know, it's like, he's funny, I like him, I just forget what his name is on the show.
Yeah, it's not standing out to me. Like, the other two stand out.
But you guys know who we're talking about, the trio.
Yes, who is an Ant-Man. But anyways, so they all go together, and it does make me laugh. They like beat up someone when they're placed under arrest, and it's like, well, what about when they wake up? They're probably going to tell on you, but obviously due to events, that's not an issue down the road. But the three of them begin to, especially with Darcy, she begins to kind of figure out that Sword knows how many people are in there, and they're tracking Vision specifically. Which is interesting, again, because remember, he had his body and was doing something with it that I don't think he was supposed to be doing. So,
what are you up to?
Yeah, so
what were you up to?
So that is interesting. And then we know from Darcy that that Monica has a plot to get back in there, and she tells her it's altering your DNA. So now we know, because we know that Monica Rambeau at some point is going to become have superpowers. Like, she's going to get powered, and how's that going to happen?
Yeah.
And it seems that maybe going in and out of this thing is going to create her powers for down the road.
Right.
So that is kind of interesting. So they go to I guess find a way. They have a way in, she says.
Yeah.
And we don't see in this episode what that way is at this point.
Because stuff happens, man.
Yeah, stuff does happen. And Darcy says, no, she's going to wait. At which point, let's get to, so you've got Wanda and them. Oh, and her sons. We find that one of the sons has Quicksilver's power.
Right.
And the other one almost has, like, Professor X powers, where he can hear, like, people from a distance. Cool. And it really reminded me of, like, Professor X and the X-Men. So that's interesting. So we see they both have their powers. And again, I know there's a big plot, I guess from the comic book, maybe House of M, I believe it was called, that someone, and is it this Sword guy, that all of this was created because we find out from Wanda that Wanda, when asked, has no clue how she got here. She has no clue how this was created. Now, she is actively aware that she has tranced some of these people now.
See, that's what I was saying. I think even in the last episode, I don't think she's as much to blame as it originally set up you to think. I really don't think that's the case.
She's one of those.
She's a willing participant now, definitely to a certain degree.
Well, here's what made me laugh. Basically, Wanda needed to hear the radio transmission of Wonder Woman being like, Wanda, only the truth matters. Renounce your wish.
Renounce your wish. And then we've laughed about this before, and we're like, and then, her husband Vision, or he can be like, I'm already dead. You don't have to say goodbye.
Yeah, you don't have to say goodbye. I'm already dead. I mean,
now we're being insensitive.
This is truly playing out like Wonder Woman, but Wanda has got to renounce her wish because at this point she is an active participant in what is going on. But who started it?
Yeah.
So that's the big question mark. Who started this? And I know we'll get to that. So you guys leave below. Who do you think started this? How did it get started? Who started it? You know, let us know your thoughts below on that. But we do, again, so we know that Wanda, that's where Wanda's becoming too sympathetic for them to make her the big bad by the end of the series.
Well, and I think, you know, it's also like as the audience, we see one of our heroes, Monica Rambeau, clearly has a sensitivity towards Wanda. You know, and she wants to help her. And so I think, you know, that should tell us something.
Yes. Yeah, definitely. And I mean, Wanda has been one of our heroes. She's as the guy that I never remember his name from Ant-Man said, she was also an Avenger.
Right.
You know, so she is too. But she is right now being a willing participant of this thing. And it's because she doesn't want to let go of something. But I would say, you know, I'm hopeful that there comes a time she's willing to let go of it. We'll see. But I don't know. It's very difficult. She has kids that have manifested, and we know are actual humans at this point for Monica.
Yeah.
So it's all very interesting with everything that's going on here. So we get that. And then we see Vision. He's off and he's exploring and he runs into Agnes. And that whole exchange is very fascinating.
Very fascinating. You know, when she's like, are you going to save us? You know, and then it's just like when she says, she reveals to him, you know, like she's like, 'cause you're dead.
Yes.
And,
yes.
Dead. I know. I was going to say, is it not kind of awkward? It's like, I think he heard you the first or second.
But it was almost like a glitch in the system.
Dead. I mean, she says it like 5 or 6 times. It's kind of creepy.
Do you know, I don't know, and you guys let us know. Again, I haven't read the House of M or any of this. I think there's some rumor that people think Agnes is dead. And there's even some rumors I've heard, like, are these people, some of these people that he finds, are they dead? Like, I don't know. That may be getting too far-fetched. I don't know. Because she does say, am I alive?
It's turning morbid around here.
She says in it, she says, am I alive?
Oh, yeah. Or she says, I think she says, am I dead?
Yeah, am I dead? So there's a lot of...
Maybe like seeing him knowing he's dead?
Yeah, that's true. Know. It could just be that. Yeah, so there's a lot of interesting things there. But yes, she does the reveal to him of, you're dead.
And then just so creepy yet again when he does the thing with her head and she goes back into, you know, her bubbly character. But it seemed like it was weird. Like, I don't know, being on the outskirts of town, if something kind of messes with their programming, because you notice she didn't seem, you know, quite normal from the, like, oh, I took a drive and I got lost. And he's like, in your own town? In your own small town? You've lived here forever?
Well, Natalie, I mean, if you think about it, it's at that far edge of the place. It's almost like maybe her powers are, I don't know, not as active
the people
there.
are just like, they're kind of like robots that have stopped, like, performing, like the lady just standing there staring. You know, like I said, I like those kind of creepy elements.
Yes, it's almost like Agnes took a wrong turn and ended up in this area to where people almost have no, like, they can't even move. Like, they're just so zombie-like from whatever's going on in this hex. So it's interesting what's going on. And of course, then Vision decides he's going to see what's going on. So he begins to cut through the barrier. And as he comes out, because he is dead, it's like he's dying.
Yeah.
As he's coming out. But yet he so wants to know the truth, he keeps going. And that's where, you know, Darcy's like, help him.
She's like, help him. Yeah, it's kind of sad.
Where you know that they don't want to help him.
Right.
And at which point, of course, that's when we find out the other son has his powers, because he hears that and he goes to Wanda. And that's when Wanda's like, enough with you, to her brother. But then Wanda, you know, her way of helping him, once her son can identify where he is she just extends the border.
Which, that's going to open up a whole new can of worms.
It is.
So super cool choice, in my opinion.
And I actually kind of really love the fact that as she begins to swallow up Sword, of course, the one guy seems to get away, it seems.
Yeah.
But the rest of them get swallowed up into this, the hex,
Darcy didn't stand a chance. They left her there on the freaking car.
And that is interesting, because it'll be interesting to see, will Darcy one, will she just automatically go into that state of mind? But I feel like Darcy's going to be very useful on the inside somehow.
Yes.
So that will be kind of interesting to see what takes place next week. But I love the choice of because everything changes when it goes into the hex.
Yeah.
Of Sword becoming clowns.
Right.
Like the government that's trying to like really control and doing a terrible job at this, and Wanda, that's how Wanda views them. Like they come in and it's a clown show. Like that's what it is. It's a circus.
Yeah.
So I thought that was actually
nice touch.
I thought that was pretty humorous that was the choice that was made there. It genuinely made me laugh as it was happening. So that happened. So now we know Darcy's on the inside. We don't see her change though. So I'm sure we'll get that next week.
We didn't really get to see any of the main people change.
No. And did we see, I'm thinking
Monica Rambeau.
We don't see her go in,
I don't think we see that. No, I don't think that's been confirmed.
Yeah.
That they did or didn't make it out either way.
Yeah, so I'm a little confused on that. Now, I will say, too, with the villain, which does make him not as one-dimensional, he does set up, which was a good line, I think, because it's not fun when a villain's just one-dimensional. But anyways, he says, you don't know what it was like when you guys were gone, like what we went through.
Right.
So I thought that was a good line to give his character a little more depth in passing, kind of, that they made. I'm trying to think, Natalie, is there anything else big in this episode or anything you thought?
I feel like there was a lot big.
There
was.
It's
I watched it at like 7 or probably like 6 this morning. So I probably need to rewatch it before we did this, but I just know I really liked it. There was a lot going on. There was a lot of, even just like the guy when Vision doesn't go where she wanted him to go during this Halloween party and festivities and stuff. And the guy, he's like, how you doing, Wanda? And she was like, oh, well, Vision can help you. And he's like, oh, well, Vision's not here. And he's like, did you want it to be different? And once again, you get this thing of like, it's almost like he knows he's this like paid actor, sort of like, can I make things right for you? Like, you're the boss. So, it's still just got so much mystery to it and how things work. And then she'll genuinely almost look kind of confused at times. Like when people say stuff to her like that.
Yeah, she does. It just really is like, this is like a good job with the mystery box. That's why you just hope. And I think they will. I really hope they stick the landing once we get to the end of this series, because right now the mystery box is working. It's fun. Like I said, when the credits started, I was like, oh, like I need to see what happens, which is always a good place to leave the audience. But like we said, from episode 4 on, they just keep getting more and more fascinating and interesting.
I'm kind of hooked now.
I'm very hooked now. Like, I need to know what happens, guys. And again, that's kind of why I said that this really more is our reaction, because I'm going to go back and watch this episode, and I'd say I would have so much more I pick up on.
We might, like, drop something in the comments, like if there's something else kind of really makes an impression on us after watching it. Yeah, we'll add to the comments below. I'm just trying to think before we end if there's anything else that grabbed me. I mean, just great video. And of course, she is able. You can see she pulls Vision back in, so he should be fine. But it's like she's just added so many more people to this little world. So it's just going to be fascinating how this plays out.
It really is. And to now see all those sword agents in there. So next week with Darcy, the sword agents, where is Monica Rambeau? And the guy, this name that I can't ever think of.
Tell us in the comments if you want to.
I know he said Ant-Man, but I can't think of his name. But yes, it's very interesting. Where this is going to go, I'm excited to see. So, yeah, I thought it was a fantastic episode. So, I'm going to give this episode, guys, 5 hoots.
I'm going to give it 5 hoots as well.
Can next week get 5 hoots too? I mean, can we keep this going? We'll see.
It's tough to beat, but I have a feeling they're going to do it.
Yeah, I think from here on out, I think 4 started something.
Yeah.
And from here on out, it's just going to get crazier and crazier.
To quote Stranger Things, those sweet little nerds, our curiosity boxes have been opened.
Yes, they have opened the curiosity boxes.
We don't want them shut.
No, we don't want them shut, but we do want them satisfied.
Yes.
So let's satisfy those. But yeah, fantastic episode. 5 hoots across the board. You guys let us know. Let us know any of the things that maybe you heard us kind of questioning. Give us your thoughts below. What did you guys think of the episodes? How many hoots do you guys give it out of 5 hoots?
We always like reading you guys' theories.
We do. Yeah, some of you guys have left some great theories in the comments. Yes. We appreciate that.
And I'm like, oh, that makes sense. Yeah. You really fill me in on things.
Yes. Yeah, you guys have done an awesome job. And again, we love this to be a conversation. So join the chat below to be in the conversation. But anyways, that is it for this episode of Force Levi Entertainment. Also, subscribe to our channel if you are new or have not yet.
Give it a thumbs up. Turn the bell on to be notified when we drop a new video.
Yes, and you can find Force Levi Entertainment on Twitter and Instagram at Force Levi Entertainment. Check us out there. But that is it for this episode. Again, join the conversation below in the comments. And as always, remember to be a force of light. Yes. All right, bye, guys.
Bye.